708 days since OU softball last won a national title. Only in Norman, Oklahoma does that seem like a long time. Patty Gasso begins the run for Natty 9 with one of the greatest freshman classes we've ever seen, led by Kendall Wells, 2 behind UCLA's Megan Grant for the most home runs in single season history. OU opens against Binghamton, back in the tourney for the 2nd straight season under Jess Bump. Her star is Rachel Carey, the America East Player of the Year. Michigan and Kansas complete the Norman Regional. They'll play in our 2nd game. Winner advances to the Supers to meet up with a winner from the Eugene Regional. With Jenny Ritter, the national champ from Michigan, I'm Lowell Galindo. Welcome to Oklahoma. Now, the Sooners have had more than a week to ask some really tough questions after that shocking loss in the quarters of the SEC tournament in which they blew a 5-0 lead. But Patty Gasso told us yesterday probably was the best thing that could have happened for this program.
It was a gut check time. It was one of those moments where they had to get back to the drawing board. They had to figure out how to be better defensively. So they went and they repeated it over and over again until it was perfect. And if it wasn't perfect, they went back and they tried again. Defensively, that's what they had to do to get done. And they've got such a solid offense. That's what you need to be a complete team. And this offense, man, just on fire. 174 home runs, 96 coming from 4 superstars between Ella Parker, Gabby Garcia, Cassidy Pickering, and that freshman phenom, Kendall Wells, who already broke that freshman single-season home run record with 36. She's got more home runs in her. This is a team that is complete. They have elite power, they've got speed, they've got depth, and they've got lineup versatility. That's what makes them so strong offensively. And it's not just these 4 hitters, it's 1 through 9, Lowell.
Good luck, Binghamton. They come into this regional with 20 wins on the season, tied with South Dakota for the fewest for a team in a regional. Now, they had to beat UMass Lowell twice in the America East Finals to make this regional. In game number 1, they trailed 8-2 in the 6th inning, pulled off the biggest comeback in program history.
And the record, 20-25, is not really indicative of the team that this is. They played a very tough schedule to try to be more competitive here in the regional, and they have to continue to be competitive as they go. And they've got 9, they're 9th in the country for doubles on the season, so they can hit, they can find a way to get it done.
First meeting all time between the Sooners and Bearcats, and be warned, the wind is blowing out straight away center field at the launch pad that is Love's Field. U softball looking for a 5th national championship in the span of 6 years. Patty Gasso told her pitching staff coming into this regional, you got the best offense and defense in America. All you got to do is throw strikes. And that is the task for Audrey Lowry, who gets to start the circle.
Yeah, and she's really been the emerging ace. And I love what she does in the circle. She keeps that ball down. She's going to throw a drop 44% of the time. And with that, she's going to get ground balls 58% of the time. So this is a defense that they're going to have to rely on that ground ball, look for the outs, and utilize the defense behind her.
Now let's take a look at the starting lineup for Binghamton, brought to you by Capital One. And leading off is this year's America East Player of the Year. Number 42, Rachel Carey. Hitting in the 4th spot is last year's Conference Player of the Year, Elisa Allen.
Yeah, Rachel Carey has been lights out. No kidding that she's been named the most outstanding player, the Player of the Year for the America East. She fits in nationally amongst so many hitters. She's got 19 doubles, 0.42 doubles a game. That's 2nd nationally. She just finds a way to get it done, and she's had 23 multi-hit games, 9 with 3+ hits. So when she gets going, that's what they're looking for at the top of the lineup.
Jess Bump told her Bearcats club, you got 10 seconds to be in all. Those 10 seconds are over. Game time. Packed house here inside Love's Field. And pitch number 1 from Lowry. First pitch swinging and fouled off by Rachel Carey. What a scene for college softball and the new mecca of the game. More than 4,000 plus, largest on-campus stadium in college softball, rocking to start this regional.
And this is an OU pitching staff led by Lowry that leads with that first pitch strike. So if you're Binghamton and you're coming up to hit, you want to look to attack that first pitch strike, just like Carey did, even though foul might be the best pitch you'll see.
And that is up 2-1 for the dangerous Rachel Carey. The America East Player of the Year, was also the most outstanding player of the America East Tournament, where she cranked 4 home runs. Here's count for Carey. Swinging back up the middle, and there's a leadoff knock for the Player of the Year.
I mean, how dangerous of a hitter is Carey? This ball is a little bit more elevated than you can throw to Carey, and she hits a liner right back up that middle, exactly how you want to place that pitch when you see it come in. She waited and she hunted for the right pitch.
7-game hit streak for Rachel Carey. Turns it to Maddie Dodig. First pitch slap, foul on the left side. This is a Binghamton club that is playing without the first team All-America East selection in Darian McDonough. Starting center fielder, unfortunately out in concussion protocol. Ran into a wall with some defensive drills a couple days ago in practice. Just unfortunate we will not see McDonough today in this regional opener. Dodig, the junior, has reached safely in 15 straight.
Yeah, Dodig's also on a 5-game hitting streak. Moved up into that second hole, that 2-hole in the lineup. Really with the change with McDonough out of the lineup, but for somebody that has seen the ball well and finding a way to get on base, it's a good spot to put her in that 2-hole.
OU looking to flip 2 here. The middle infield, perhaps the best defensively in college softball. Gabby Garcia at shortstop. Ailana Agbayani at second base. Last season's Rawlings Gold Glove winner there. 2-2. And foul. An Oklahoma team that is 48-8 on the season. They were the #1 team in the nation for 4 straight weeks until that shocking upset at the hands of Georgia in their SEC tournament opener. That did drop them from the top spot. They still are the #3 national seed and still considered the favorite to win this whole thing. Do you agree with that sentiment?
I think when you have an offense as potent as they have, you're never out of the chances. The pitching and the defense is what has to keep them in the game. They do have solid pitching and defense too. I mean, they've been a complete team for the last decade. So you got to expect that they're always going to try to compete for that, you know, that one last spot standing alone at the end of the day.
There's the goat, Patty Gasso, season number 32. Tough week of practices for her squad. She believes they are locked in. Lowry with the strikeout, 1 down.
How about this off speed coming in, just living on that corner. Looks like it curves a little bit further in. Dodig not looking for anything that close on her hands, but it catches the corner.
Here's Emma Lawson getting in the 3 spot. And another first pitch swing. So 3 Bearcat batters all offering at the first pitch from Audrey Lowry.
Well, and again, it makes sense. She's going to attack that first pitch strike. That might be the best pitch that you're going to see the entire at-bat.
Blows that by, and it's 0-2.
I like the pace at which Lowry throws. It's quick, it's focused. She just goes and delivers around that zone, looking to paint the corner, throw through the zone.
And back-to-back punchies for Lowry. Tied a career high with 8 of those, her last start against A&M on April 30th.
And Audrey Lowry bringing it up in the zone. That's what you get when you have the chance to get up in the zone and get that strikeout, work that ladder. She does so beautifully here.
This year's America East Player of the Year, Rachel Carey, with a leadoff single. Last year's Player of the Year, Elissa Allen, trying to cash in. "16 home runs on the season. Second straight year leading her conference in that category. 1-1. Lowry's battering mate, Kendall Wells, superstar freshman, known for the offense. She has been dominant behind the dish as well. 2-2.
And we talked about the power that Binghamton can bring. Allen, number 19 nationally in home runs per game. Long ball does play a factor in this offense. So do doubles, gap hitting.
3 straight for Audrey Lowry.
Audrey Lowry, man, she's just attacking that zone, striking out the side. First a called strike, then 2 rise balls for Lawson and Allison to get out of this inning, strike out the side.
Audrey Lowry with the electric performance in the top of the first. Binghamton got 1 hit, but that was all that they could get. And it's time for Olivia Kennedy to try to match wits with Audrey Lowry. She's in the circle for the Bearcats.
Yeah, Olivia Kennedy has really been the leader in this pitching staff for Binghamton. She is primarily drop ball changeup. In fact, that's all she has. So she's going to keep that ball low in the zone. She's going to have to mix the changeup against such a powerful offense from Oklahoma here today.
And probably a lot of those deep breaths are going to be necessary when you take a look at this starting lineup for OU, brought to you by Capital One, the freshman. Part of the greatest freshman class maybe we've ever seen in softball. Kai Miner leads off. Kendall Wells will clean up.
Yeah, I mean, Kendall Wells, I don't know what else you can say about her, except for that she's just so disciplined as a freshman. I mean, when you see those numbers, you see that home run tally go up, you're seeing pitchers that are not giving her good pitches. It makes her so good. And Kai Miner here in the box as well, with somebody that is just years beyond what she is as a freshman.
First pitch, strike in there from Olivia Kennedy. Miner, a freshman from California, first team All-SEC selection. 446 average, best nationally by a freshman, and she's adding to that. Gap shot, she's got wheels, speed to burn, second, and a stand-up double for Kai Miner.
And this is why Kai Miner is so good. She sees the ball, she drives the ball, she hits this one to the left side of the field, has the speed to get to second base, but doesn't need it for driving it so far in the gap. But just a stellar leadoff hitter for this OU offense. Speed, power, she puts pressure on a defense all day long.
And here comes a sweet swinging Ella Parker. That one was a roller from Olivia Kennedy. What happened with that release?
Well, and you're throwing off speed, you obviously don't want to float it down the middle, so you want to keep it lower in that zone. That one just missing the release point. And I think when you have somebody like Ella Parker up to bat, you've got to be really careful. You cannot miss middle, and that really goes for a lot of this lineup, but specifically with Parker here, Garcia and Wells, next 3 up.
And that is away. Miner breaks from third, and she's in safely. The throw from Allen, not in time.
And a heads up by Miner. When you have a drop ball pitcher in the circle, you know that that ball could be in the dirt more often. As soon as it hits the dirt, Miner's on the go. Easily makes it to third base.
Parker will try to cash in on the 3-0, and that's inside. And a walk to Ella Parker, bringing up Gabby Garcia. Gabby Garcia, the top bat nationally at the shortstop position. Most runs driven in and home runs nationally among shortstops. 22 dingers, 68 driven in. Trying to get OU on the board. And that is low for ball 1.
And the first start for Binghamton here has to be with Kennedy in the circle, has to be bringing a strike in. If you don't deliver early on in the count and get ahead of the count, it's just going to make that an uphill battle to get these batters out.
That's in there for a strike. The OU offense up there with a fight with UCLA to be deemed the best offense in college softball. OU with the edge when it comes to average, UCLA the edge when it comes to home runs. both the Bruins and Sooners have broken the previous mark for the most home runs in a year that was set by OU back in 2021. Kendall Wells on deck. Here's the 2-1 to Garcia. Ripped up the middle. OU on the board. And the Sooners faithful know what time it is. Time for Kendall Wells. 36 home runs on the season. Over the past week and a half, Megan Grant has shot past her to capture the national lead and the all-time record with 38 home runs. 21 straight plate appearances without a home run for Wells this season, the longest drought in her career.
You have to realize that record that was broken by Megan Grant was a 1995 record, a 31-year-old record, and now you're looking at 3 different athletes that are kind of in that hunt for the home run race. Talk about the kind of athletes we have this season.
And this is a lot of what Wells is getting. Pitch away, pitch away. No one wants to catch a barrel.
And I mean, I think that again is a testament to how powerful she has been. I mean, you look at the season numbers. If you stay away from her, you can't allow her to really, she has to reach for that. She has to kind of let it come in a little bit more. And if she's impatient, that can kind of limit you from putting it out of the park. And ideally, for somebody like Wells, that's your goal. Keep it in the park.
2-1 and 3-1. What's the approach here if you're Olivia Kennedy and it's a 3-1 to the most feared hitter nationally?
Well, I think you just saw her swing through a low and out pitch. Try to get something close enough that you can get her to chase. She is still a freshman. There are still moments where she will expand that strike zone.
Nibbling on the edge, and it's a full count. The SEC Freshman of the Year, Kendall Wells. And staying alive.
You just see the quick bat on a foul swing. I mean, the kind of power that she can bring at the plate be unmatched here in the NCAA.
Just 1 hit in the past 5 games, but 9 walks. And there's another one. Bases loaded for OU. And a mature at-bat for the freshman from Bogart, Georgia.
And that's what surprises me more than anything is the fact that as a freshman, she shows the discipline that some veterans struggle to have, where she can let the ball come in, she can draw walks, and she's not afraid to just get on base that way versus the long ball.
So meeting in the circle, trying to get Olivia Kennedy right. She really is the reason why the Bearcats are here. And that championship clinching win against UMass Lowell had to win 2 games in a day. Went 13 innings, 187 pitches. She is the reason why Binghamton is back.
And you see that ball to strike ratio. I mean, throwing more balls than strikes, and a lot of times you want it to be a 2 strikes to 1 ratio, so she's got to bring more strikes in that zone.
Just Bump, former middle infielder for Binghamton, now has brought her alma mater to the regionals for the 2nd straight year. Bella Emmerling, bases loaded. Down the line, but foul.
I think it was a good time for Jess Bump to really go and talk to Kennedy. I mean, again, the top part of this lineup is very difficult to get through now. You've loaded the bases. You've got a chance to get out of this inning. By the way, Binghamton ranked 30th nationally in double plays. So a situation here, they can draw 2 outs if they can get that ground ball from Kennedy.
In there for a strike, and it's 0-2. Breakout year for Bella. Hit only .212 last season after transferring from North Carolina. And she comes into this regional at .395. No let up in this OU starting 9.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, they pack a punch one batter after another. And for pitchers, sometimes it's nice to just take a batter off, know that you can go and attack him. You cannot do that here.
Smoked left field, And the catch is made by Delaney Glover, but that will add another for OU. Throw gets away. The tag is in time. So aggressive base running coming back to bite OU as Gabby Garcia tried to take third base.
And this one got out to the outfield in a hurry. Glover did a good job getting a ball on it. The throw was off. It hits Patty Gasso. And that kind of keeps it in play. Then you're able to get the runner out at third base. Aggressiveness matters, but a big out there for Binghamton.
And our officiating crew comes together. Our first discussion here of the afternoon, as there was obvious confusion by Oklahoma, which is why Garcia took third base. And Patty Gasso was stating her case from the OU dugout. And she was right on top of it in the third base coaching box.
The roll in the field is after the catch. It was an out at third base. Oklahoma is challenging that rolling. We will go for further review.
All right, so there's the first OU challenge, and challenging the play at third base.
Yeah, and it was a bang-bang play. It's one of those ones where a hand could have snuck in there. So to challenge this one, take a look and see if the tag was in time. Makes sense to me in this situation. It is early on in the game, but you've got momentum if you're OU. See the diving play here. The tag looks like it's low on that left knee. See that right hand maybe sliding in.
And not a great angle for Mark Craver at third base. He's behind Patty Gasso. But is there anything there that you saw that could possibly overturn the call on the field that was an out?
It's hard to say. What I noticed was that the tag was lower on the body. And sometimes when you see a lower tag down at the knees, that hand has time to sneak in. It was a really aggressive base running play. Really aggressive defense. See, from that angle, it feels a little bit to me like the tag maybe grabbed that left side.
But there, you don't see when the tag is actually
correct. You can't see it from that angle. So I'm not sure there's enough to be overturned. Again, the call on the field is out. So they have to have enough evidence to be able to change the call. I'm not sure I see it there, Lo.
What do you think, though, overall, just about the aggressive nature of the base running by OU in that situation?
I think you have to have it. I mean, again, you have a strong offense. You know they're going to put the ball in play. But what I love about the runners is that they stay aggressive. Their heads up. They saw that ball get away. And so immediately the runners advance. And that was something to me where I think that is so important to stay aggressive as an offense, to keep piling on those runs, especially when you know that's your strength.
That's another part that makes this OU offense so much fun to watch. It's not just power. They run the bases well. They'll play small ball, too, when they need to. And here's the call.
After review, the ball in the field stands. The runner is out third. Oklahoma has one challenge remaining.
So one challenge remaining for Patty Gasso. They come up short in that one. But it is Bella Emmerling with the well-hit sac fly to left field to add another run for Oklahoma to make it 2-0. But now there are 2 outs. And Cassidy Pickering, junior from Humble, Texas, announced to the crowd. Much was made over what was a very tough April for Pickering, yet Patty Gasso says you can tell she's found her groove. of the way she's carrying herself and the way she's talking to teammates. But here Olivia Kennedy is ahead 0-2. This would be enormous for Kennedy, by the way, to get out of this situation. When it was bases loaded, nobody out. That's to left field, into the seats. Goodbye, Cassidy Pickering.
And that is the Cassidy Pickering that OU knows so well. Her power is undeniable. This pitch is a drop ball that is just elevated in the zone. You elevate a drop ball, the chances of it getting out of the park are greater. And Pickering just sends this one out of the park. 2 runs scored for OU.
And don't look now, UCLA. Here comes Boomer Sooner. Home run 175 on this season. UCLA is at 182. So not just chasing natties, chasing records as well. Pickering with her 6 RBI over the last 4 games. Here's Abby Dayton showing bunt, pulls it back, strike 1.
And this is a team, again, the long ball plays a factor, but they're so good at hitting line drives and gappers as well, and just making contact in general. You make that kind of contact and you hit the ball hard that every single one of the batters in this lineup does, the odds that you're going to get on base grow. Whether it be through an error, whether it be through a single, it doesn't matter. Even though the long ball is the one that shines.
Abby Dayton so tough with 2 strikes. OU needs to start selling tickets just to watch batting practice. I've not seen anything in my life like what I witnessed yesterday.
It was a show.
That was by far the most balls hit out I have ever seen in any batting practice across softball and baseball.
Again, through all of that, I feel like you can have the conversation about, oh, just let them swing, let them do their thing. But there's JT Gasso. We're still working with them every single at-bat, working on improving.
And Dayton strikes out for only the 8th time this season. Olivia Kennedy almost got out of it, but Cassidy Pickering proving that she is back and ready to roll with the Sooners. 4-0. The latest, number 18 on the season, number 175 on the year for the Sooners program. Both UCLA and Oklahoma have broken the record previously set by OU. And we will see Megan Grant and the Bruins take on Cal Baptist later tonight, 10 Eastern on ESPN. Does a pitcher like yourself like talking about the pursuit of a home run record like that?
Absolutely not. Let's talk about the pursuit of strikeouts. Makes it a lot more fun. I will say what is astounding to me is that it's a home run race that is not just beating a record. It's 2 teams that have competed and are beating records already, and now it's who's going to come out on top.
More home runs hit across college softball this season than at any other point in history. Sorry to add on.
Yeah, it's kind of the way the game is going, though. And you're seeing pitchers or staffs now pitch by committee, where going a full 7 innings is not necessarily what can be done these days. And 1 through 9 becomes stronger 1 through 9. You're not just talking about your heart of your lineup.
Sydney Barker at third, rifles it over to first, and 4 straight retired by Audrey Lowry after the leadoff single issued to Rachel Carey. That was Patty Gasso's message. Told her OU pitchers, we got the best defense in America. Just let them put it in play.
Well, and I had to laugh when she said that, because I was thinking, you know, like, man, if I had an offense that hit 175 home runs, I'd just fire in the zone and attack every batter. Because why wouldn't you? I mean, you can stand to give up a couple runs and likely still win the ballgame. I mean, there are times you have to play a little bit tighter depending on your matchup, but attack the zone. I mean, I feel like that's what we saw Lowry do in the first inning.
Delaney Glover is used to attacking the zone, typically a pitcher for Binghamton, but playing in the field in the lineup for the first time since February 14th. She got the call to play left field After Darian McDonough announced out because she's in concussion protocol. We wish her a speedy recovery, and hopefully we get to see her tomorrow.
This is a batter that, again, hasn't seen that many at-bats like you mentioned. So for Lowry to go and attack the plate, attack what Glover can do, that's what you want to do.
Glover to center. Unfortunately for her, Kai Miner makes that look really, really easy.
I mean, just with her speed, her elite range, makes gaps look significantly smaller than the average team. Not only her at-bats that make her that good, but her defensive ability in the outfield as well.
Megan Wolf hitting in the 8th spot for Binghamton. And this is Chuck to first base. Emmerling steps on the bag, and quick work for Audrey Lowry. 7th pitch inning. They've had some time to think about it. That white number on the right wall there, 2025, the fact that it's not in gold, that stings this program a little bit. And Jenny, how remarkable is that? That we're talking about a 1-year drought and a championship, yet that's a big deal in Norman.
It absolutely is. I mean, this is a winning culture. Patty Gasso talks a lot about championship mindset. I mean, they expect to be in that championship game. And there are teams that hope to make it to regionals. There are teams that hope to make it to the World Series, and that's like their success for the season. For OU, no, it's about getting to that championship game and coming home as the last team standing.
Ilana Agbayani, the second baseman, leads off, and she gets hit. So we saw Kennedy working inside with the first 2 pitches, and that one clipped her. That's how you have a 503 OBP. Patty Gasso, the GOAT, tough to argue with it. 26 conference titles between the Big 12 and now the SEC. 18 trips to the Women's College World Series and 8 titles. The first back in 2000. Had to wait until 2013. That was a sizable gap until Gasso and the Sooners picked up number 2. And now steamrolling. Sydney Barker hitting in the number 9 spot, showing bunt. What's really interesting with this OU team is not making it to the championship series. Left a bad taste in the mouth, and it wasn't necessarily just veterans that were coming back to seek a little revenge. This dynamic freshman class that has exceeded even the loftiest of expectations. They've blended in really well with the veterans for this OU team.
And really to the point where, you know, the upperclassmen feel like they challenge them. It's not so much just the upperclassmen challenging the freshmen to be better. It goes both ways. And you just see the output that the freshmen have been able to do throughout the season. And to me, I always feel like that's the strength. When your freshmen can compete as high as your veteran leaders, then you have a more complete team.
And that's in. Agbayani, safe. And immediately, Rebecca Minnickbach wants this to go to the headset for a challenge. Excuse me, it was Akara Kopech with the tag.
And Kopech was sure she got that tag on. Ooh, looks like she might have clipped the helmet.
The call on the field is
That clipped the visor of the helmet, perhaps?
The visor of the helmet was what I saw as well.
Challenging the call. Play is under review.
And it was, I think, the second base umpire, John Schaefer, looked maybe at where the tag was on the arm, and that might have been late, but I do think that it clipped that helmet. Kopech knew immediately that she got a hold of that tag.
The throw from Elisa Allen.
And I mean, to me, with those 2 angles that you can see, just clipping it, you can even see that Agbayani kind of adjusted her helmet there as well.
That's an out.
I think that's an out. I'm with you.
It's a Binghamton team that went to the regionals last season, went 2-Q, and the motivation for them was to win a game in regionals. So the approach was schedule tough, and that they did. A brutal early season schedule. They opened up with a win against Syracuse, but then lost 12 straight to the likes of South Carolina, Virginia Tech, Auburn in non-conference play. But despite that stretch, 12 straight losses, they found a way to come together. And it was really the pitching staff, led by Olivia Kennedy on the mound, that made the statement, like, we're going to get this right.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like the fact that you can challenge yourself early and say, hey, we recognize that we might not win a lot of these, but it's going to get us ready for this moment later. I mean, that speaks a lot about what Jess Bump and this coaching staff has really thought about doing and trying to prepare this Bingham team as being a national returner to the regional stage. And it really has made them stronger. I mean, they had a tough battle to get through the America East Conference, coming from behind, and lost the game early against UMass Lowell and then had to double dip them. And they found a way to do it with a huge comeback. And sometimes that is about resilience and fighting through some of what they did earlier on in the season.
After review, call on the field has changed.
And got to celebrate the little things. What a reaction here from the Binghamton faithful.
How about that bullet from Elisa Allen, too?
That was nice.
You got to do the small things right, and they did it there. If you're going to know that OU is going to be aggressive on that base path, Elisa Allen behind that plate has got to be on her toes and ready to make that throw on target.
2-2, back to Barker. I just love the approach from Jess Bump and what she told her team. You have 10 seconds to be in awe. And she was telling them, like, look, I'm going to exchange lineup cards with Patty Gasso, and I'm going to be in awe as well. This is a really big deal.
Yeah, I mean, she was saying that there are players on her team that would go as Halloween as some of the elite athletes from OU in the past. Growing up, they were fans of OU, and here they are playing them. And that does feel like a David versus Goliath type of situation. But this is a team that understands what they have to do. And they want a good showing. They want to compete.
Well, the Women's College World Series returns to Oklahoma City. The action begins Thursday, May 28th at 12 Eastern, live on ESPN. For more information on the 2026 Women's College World Series, visit NCAA.com, the home for all NCAA championships. Back to the top of the lineup in Kai Miner, who had a missile to the left center gap for an easy double. Her first time up.
And this is where Kennedy has to mix in that off speed a little bit more, paint the corners a little bit more.
To center. And gone! I don't think they ever went away, but the Boomer Sooner power surge is back. Second of the game for the Sooners, 10th of the year for Kai Miner.
Kai Miner, elite speed, but doesn't need it here because she's got elite power in her bat. Such a threat at the plate to do so much. Drives this one straight away center. Second home run of this game. You talked about it, trying to chip away, hit that home run race.
6-game hitting streak for Miner. 11 hits in that span. 5 doubles and throws in that home run now. And here's Ella Parker. Drew a walk her first time up.
And you see a few more off speeds coming in from Kennedy. She threw a first pitch off speed to Kai Miner as well. Miner watched it before driving a pitch out. When you have a pitcher that's just drop ball change, though, you either sit on the fast stuff or you sit on the slow stuff.
Uh-oh, here's trouble. Gone again, Ella Parker's turn.
Ella Parker, such a quiet competitor, but her swing is loud. This one on the corner. Again, that drop ball has to be lower to solid hitters, home run hitters like Ella Parker. She connects with this pitch and drives it oppo taco. out of the park. And this is why OU is so good. You talk about a game of adjustments. Second time through the lineup, the first two batters have hit the long ball.
The big 5-0 for Ella Parker. Career home run number 50. And a new pitcher for the Bearcats. We'll let you know about the change when we return. The OU bats red hot. Back-to-back Jacks, and it's 7-0. Boomer Sooner. Back-to-back Jacks, and it's 7-0. Boomer Sooner. Olivia Kennedy is the reason why the Bearcats are here. She ran into one of the most dangerous lineups we have ever seen. 5 hits, 7 earned runs, 3 home runs by Oklahoma. Chases her from the game. And it's time now for Savannah McKell in the circle.
Yeah, McKell will mix it up a little bit differently. She's going to go more vertical, up and down, not just straight down. Then she's got a curveball as well. And I think when you really think about how OU can prepare for somebody like Olivia Kennedy, just having a drop ball and one movement on the fast stuff, and then that off speed was enough for OU to just sit on the pitch they were looking for. For McKell here, she's able to kind of mix it around a little bit more.
Here's Gabby Garcia, single up the middle her last time up. Got OU on the board. OU could have a 9 spot on the board, but they caught Stilling trying to take second, and Garcia on an errant throw to third was called out, trying to take that third back.
You can see the timing difference in the velo, a little bit slower than what Kennedy threw as well. So this OU team going to have to adjust to maybe a little bit slower speed and pitching. Again, Binghamton knew, and they talked to us. They said, we're not sure that our pitchers will go longer than 1 or 2 innings at a time against OU. The intent was to pitch by committee. Get one time through that lineup.
Well, Garcia, the sophomore from Chandler, Arizona, has serious juice, and juice to all fields. Leads softball with 12 opposite field home runs. And we asked Patty Gasso about her message, where she said after the loss to Georgia, they were going to practice to the point of exhaustion and wanted the players to want to go until their hands bled. Who really embodied that? And Gabby Garcia was one of the first players she mentioned.
And I feel like by nature you see a workhorse in players, but this whole team is a workhorse. So when Gabby Garcia is able to get on base that way and be that workhorse, I mean, it says a lot about the leadership she has on this team.
Kendall Wells stands in, and she's got 36 of the 177 hit by OU this season, closing in on UCLA, who opens the LA regional later tonight. First pitch off speed, in there for a strike. Wells went to a full count her last time up and drew a walk. Her 10th in the last 6 games. What she has not done in that 6-game stretch, the long ball. And a rollover foul.
And to me, that right there, that's timing right there. Trying to get her timed against a slower pitcher.
On April 25th, Wells had a 36-34 edge over Megan Grant. Grant has hit 4 since and has taken that lead over Kendall Wells. This will come down to 2 things: who does best in postseason play and whose team can play the longest in postseason play.
Right. And I think the big thing too is how many pitches are Wells or Megan Grant going to see?
Ooh.
That they can even drive out of that park. You saw the power that Wells had there. Frozen rope foul.
More home runs by Kendall Wells this season than 100 150 teams alone. That is just about half of the teams in D1 softball.
I mean, most fans track strikeouts. Here in OU, you track home runs.
And enough power in the lineup
they count both
to fill up that rail.
I love it.
More home runs or strikeouts? What's your call?
The way this game's going, it's hard to say, Lowell.
Oh, that's outside, staying away from the barrel of Kendall Wells. What would it be like pitching against Wells?
I think there's just, to me, a supreme focus that a pitcher has to have. They have to understand where the misses are, where they need to throw their pitches, where they can get her to potentially chase.
Just missed that one, popped up, and fighting the sun is Emma Lawson at first base. It went a mile high for out number 2.
And a spin on that ball. Emma Lawson had to go after it. Hangs on to it, though. Looked more difficult than it was.
2 outs, just bump. An opportunity to talk with the former Binghamton middle infielder at the top of the 3rd inning. First, the Bearcats have to get through Bella Emmerling. In a missile to left field. Line out. It drove in a run off the sack to make it 2-0 OU. Here's the 1-0 from Savannah McHale. And popped up. Chance for Megan Wolf, usually a corner outfielder, but makes a play in center field. OU goes back-to-back. It was the freshman, Kai Miner. Straightaway center field, driving it to Ella Parker. Apo Taco, that made it 7-0. Boomer Sooner. That's Jess Bump, the head coach of Binghamton. Berkeley Zakay is the new pitcher that Coach Bump was alluding to. She comes in to start his top of the 3rd inning in place of Audrey Lowry.
And Berkeley Zakay, what I like about her is that she brings a lot of changeups. She's going to come in with a curveball as well, mid-60s. It's a little bit different for Binghamton to have to adjust on that change.
She's going to face the number 8 hitter in the Bearcats lineup, Akira Kopech, the second baseman. Zakay allowed 3 earned runs in her first appearance of her college career against Arizona on February 17th. She has been pretty good after that. 1 earned run allowed in the last 11 appearances.
The benefit of having the lead right now for OU allows some of the pitchers who haven't seen as many innings really come in and get some regional experience. It's okay, one of the freshmen that has been so good for OU.
There's the 2-1 to Kopech, who shows bunt. And she pulled it back in time, and it was a ball, so it's 3-1. Zakay from Niles, Michigan. Where is that, Mrs. Michigan?
I'm gonna point it on my hand. Show it on my hand, right?
And painting there. And it runs the count full.
Berkeley Zakay and I actually share a pitching coach, believe it or not.
And the name of that pitching coach? Because obviously they know what they're talking about.
Pat Brower is one of the best in the state. For somebody to come from Michigan and be able to make it to an elite program like OU, I mean, says a lot about what Zakay's done too in the circle. Chance for her to get a couple innings here. Really show her movement off, her good speed.
Here's Rebecca Minnenbach. And Minnenbach representing the bottom of the lineup for the Bearcats, senior from Pennsylvania.
And Minnenbach, again, her job is just to do her job. Advance the runner, turn the lineup over. You've got a powerful Rachel Carey behind you at the top of the lineup.
That's low. And that is going to fall over the head of Barker into left field. And the Bearcats with their second knock of the game. Don't miss a minute of the action from the NCAA Softball Regionals. We'll take you to the best live action on the 7 Innings Live show on the ESPN app. You can see every game and every big moment on the road to the Women's College World Series only on the ESPN networks. Well, there's a winning moment for Rebecca Minigbach. She'll remember that for a long time. A hit here in the Norman Regional against the number 3 national seed, Oklahoma. Back to the top of the lineup in the America East Player of the Year, Rachel Carey announced her presence with a single up the middle in her first at-bat to run her hitting streak to 7 straight. Laura Galindo here with Jenny Ritter, former national champ back in '05 with the Michigan Wolverines. See her alma mater coming up in the second game against the Kansas Jayhawks. Jayhawks back in a regional for the first time since 2015.
It's a regional where the offense is really driving what these teams can do. It's what got them here in this regional. You can see here Binghamton starting to get some runners on. Beautiful change up there. You have somebody like Rachel Carey that is so good at hitting the solid pitches. You got to bring that changeup in, and for somebody that throws a changeup over 25% of the time, here it is, that changeup that just slowly goes, and look how it gets Carey out on her front foot, gets her guessing, and you're talking about a powerful hitter, disciplined hitter.
And dedicated herself to getting more physical, reshaped her body stronger and faster than ever, and her average has skyrocketed from 309 as a freshman last season to 477, 5th best in America at this point. And proving to be a tough out here, Jenny.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to battle. I mean, somebody that can put the ball in play as well as she does, but seeing a pitch that's around that zone, she doesn't expand very often. She just looks at the hittable pitches that she can attack. That's why she's fouling so many off here. And
this is going to be an opportunity for Emmerling over at first base, and that's the first out of this 3rd inning.
A good out by Zakay. You want to limit the damage that the best hitter in the lineup does. To get a pop fly there on the infield, that's a big win. Especially when you have 2 runners on base.
Dodig hitting better than 300 for the 3rd straight season. First pitch whacked foul. Bearcats team having one of the most prolific offensive seasons in school history. 85 doubles, the most ever for the Bearcats. 52 home runs, 2nd most. And the .319 average coming into this game, 3rd best in program history.
Yeah, team 2 that contributes 1 through 9. I mean, they can barrel up balls, leading the America East in so many different categories.
Hit to right field. Parker going back to the track, makes the catch, runner tagging from second, and Kopech is in safely to 3rd base. Dodig almost got that.
And that one kept traveling. Looked like it might have had the distance. Really, really good base running by Kopech as well. Tag on that play. And see how deep it was, how far Ella Parker had to run to make this out. Makes a good out on the warning track. Productive out for Dodig to get Kopech to 3rd base.
Big moment for Emma Lawson. Strike one in there from Berkeley Zakay. Lawson, the senior catcher, 1st team America East. No stranger to regional play. Hit .333 with a double and drove in 4 for the Bearcats in a regional last season. Not bad up in Eugene.
Say one of the mainstays in this lineup that created that production, and to have that postseason knowledge and understanding, it alludes to what her leadership can be to her team, to understand what it takes to be competitive in a regional and how to be better this year than you were the year before.
0-2 popped up. Ammerling calls everybody off, and the Bearcats strand 2. 7-0 Oklahoma as we go to the bottom of the third.
ZipRecruiter. In the furniture business, things move fast.
ZipRecruiter helps us hire qualified candidates who can keep up.
We needed a project manager yesterday.
We posted a job on ZipRecruiter and had our guy on site in 5 days.
He was qualified in every way.
ZipRecruiter finds the best candidates for all our jobs.
And they helped us build our dream team, and they did it fast. Is that too fast for you?
It's records as well. And back in the circle for the Bearcats, Savannah McKell. Seems like Binghamton has been a pitch or two away from getting out of some very critical situations, and they just have not been able to come up with that payoff pitch. Cassidy Pickering is a great example of that, as Olivia Kennedy nearly got out of a situation where it was bases loaded, nobody out, with only allowing 2 runs until Pickering had her blast.
And those are the moments to me for OU when they look at getting to that last team standing. They want all their batters to be firing on all cylinders. And if you have somebody like Cassidy Pickering that's starting to feel confidence in what she's swinging in her bat, it's going to make her that much better.
Hot shot past the glove of Payne at first base. Leadoff single for Cassidy Pickering. She looks like the Pickering of old, and that's great to see.
Exactly. I mean, do you really have to make an OU lineup stronger? Probably not, but it is a great thing when Pickering can step on in and show us what she knows how to do.
Here's Abby Dayton. A rare strikeout, her first time up. Only the 8th time that's happened all season. But for whatever reason, it's happening right now. In 4 of her last 7 plate appearances, Dayton has struck out. Beautiful day here in Norman, Oklahoma. Up the middle. Minnickbach to first base offline. That's going to move up Pickering. And Dayton. Pickering was going to try to squeeze in a run. Go back to third.
Hey, take advantage if you can.
Oh, it's just like a casual jog home, right?
I love how Dayton uses the ground on this. She knows she has speed, so using the ground, getting that hop just gets the pressure more on the defense. It forced that errant throw. Minnickbach throws it into the dugout. Allows the runners to advance. 2 in scoring position here with none away.
Ilana Agbayani walked her first time up. Corners in for Binghamton. Everybody creeping down towards the plate.
Yeah, you have to. When you have somebody like Agbayani, triple threat opportunity, you've got to be ready. You've got to be honest with that sneaky bunt. You can see that defense moved in.
Yeah, that's going to get through. 2 runs are going to score for OU. Agbayani into second base. You're going to bring the infield in, I'll punch it right past you.
Exactly, and that's what makes them dangerous, right? You have to respect the short game, but also she can drive it right past you as well. And Agbayani reads the defense, does not square. Drives it right back up the middle.
Agbayani got the golden ticket, 3rd round pick by the Chicago Bandits, the AUSL draft. Here's Sydney Barker. First pitch swinging, tough play from shortstop, and Minnickbach makes this one on time. 1 down.
The ground ball's the win here for this Binghamton defense. Find a way to get a miss hit, win with a ground ball, a hard hit ground ball that your defense can make a play on. This is not an OU team that you're going to get those strikeouts, that you're going to get the weak hits. You're going to get something that's just miss hit. You got to make a play on that.
A double and a home run for Kai Minor. Patty Gasso says she swings hard all the time. So even her misses come off the barrel hot.
She just plays with such confidence. I mean, if you were to put this lineup out and say, guess what class they are, I don't think that you could pick these freshmen and say, no, I think they're freshmen. I mean, they don't play like freshmen. They play like veterans that know the game and understand the game, are ready for this moment.
Your batting champ in the SEC, and only a freshman. Juice in the bat. Speed on the base pass. Great grab by McHale, and keeps everybody still as she fires to first for the second out.
Again, good ground balls that you can make a play on. That was good reaction from McHale.
I talked to Patty Gasso. Coming up the fourth inning. A lot of questions have been answered with his start for OU. Specifically, how would they look after a tough week of practices following that disappointing loss to Georgia in the SEC quarters? And how would the freshmen deal with the regional environment for the first time? Kai Minor has said, I love it.
And I asked Patty Gasso, I mean, this is a young team, so what are those expectations? How do you handle the expectations of freshmen maybe coming into the program just thinking, hey, we're supposed to be good? And just the upperclassmen doesn't allow them to act like that. They just come in and they want to compete. And that's who they are.
Kopech on time. A 9-0 Oklahoma lead. We'll talk to Patty Gasso when we return from Norman. Nothing lead for the #3 national seed OU, and we are now joined by the 8-time champ Patty Gasso. Coach, you told us it was a really challenging week of practice for your team. How have they responded in this regional opener?
Pretty well so far, absolutely. Big home runs, scoring early, that's what we're looking for. Right now we've scored in all 3 of the innings that we've been, but I am still the one that's looking at the runner at second, and we're not moving her, 2 batters. So that's kind of my way of looking at things. I look at
it's a standard of excellence, right?
Move the runner instead of, wow, look at the home runs. I like that stuff that we work on in practice.
It's about perfection, Patty.
I feel like I'm in practice, to be honest. Yes. So I'm looking at it like, hey, why aren't we going to the right? Like, just, I'm not even looking at the score. I'm looking at just execution, things we've been working on during the week.
Patty, tell me about your pitchers. You have 2 here in this lineup. Obviously, you're pitching something that you want to keep them in the game and get them some innings here. What do you like about what they've seen today?
Attacking. I thought Audrey was great, really attacking zone. This is really fun for Berkeley Decay because she's got some really great stuff, and getting her an opportunity. She hasn't had a lot, but she's really been trending up, and we really like what she's been doing. So this is a nice opportunity for her.
Coach Gasso, we appreciate it. What a crowd, what an environment, what a team. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And that is how you go about winning more than 600 games in your career, by being a perfectionist.
That was, to me, exactly how you win championships. You say, oh, I don't look at the home runs. I say, okay, this is where we can get better. And it's like this minuscule thing on a run that maybe won't matter for the W, but it's going to matter someday. And that's how Patty Gasso works. And there's no doubt that's why she has that championship mindset.
32nd head coach, or season as head coach, here with the Oklahoma Sooners in the tournament every year. And just a matter of time before she is the winningest coach of all time. And there are more national titles to add up to the board in left field, and to highlight in gold in right field. And this team still is the favorite to win it all, despite the fact they are not the #1 national seed. #3 national seed, with Alabama in that top spot. This one is fouled back by Allen, and here comes the charging Bella Emmerling for the first out.
And the 4th straight pop fly that Zakay has been able to induce. Actually, all 4 of her outs.
And let me check that. Lexi McDaniel now checks in at first base. She made that catch. Swing and a miss by Lauren Payne. Ground out victim, her first time up. .433 average over the 10 games coming into this regional. Only her teammate Rachel Carey better in that stretch. Hit hard to center field. Miner making the catch on the run. So smooth in center field.
I just love the range that Kai Miner has. First of all, her jump on the ball is perfect. She's able to get a couple extra steps, but that gap that looks like that ball's going to drop in the gap just closes up so quickly. And man, Kai Miner makes it look like an easy out.
It's understandable when you're sharing the spotlight with Kendall Wells, but Miner probably has not received enough national attention for how good she is.
I agree. And I feel like when you have somebody that's just as good as Wells, they do overshadow some of the players. I think you look at somebody like a Megan Grant on UCLA, and Jordan Woolery's gotten some national attention, but not as much, and she's beating her in batting average. And when you have batters that are just so good, you know, sometimes there's just like these quiet ones. Not that Kai's quiet by any means. She's just not as loud with the long ball.
I loved you asking the question to Patty Gasso about the expectations for this freshman class and her response.
Yeah, that you know, I said, did you expect him to be this good? And she said no, but she expected him to be good, just not as producing as much as they have. I mean, they've come in and they've just been massive leaders as freshmen.
McDaniel takes care of that. 3 up, 3 down for Berkeley. Zakay in the circle for Boomer Sooner. 9-0 OU. OU trying to stay undefeated inside Love's Field in postseason play. Well on their way to doing that. Trying to make it 11-0. And the new home of the Sooners opened in 2024, capacity 4,200. And it is packed to the brim for this regional. Great people here in Norman, Oklahoma. Amazing hospitality as always. And putting together an always amazing product on the dirt. Gabby Garcia will lead off. A walk and a single to her credit. 3 home runs for the Sooners. 177 on the year. So they have closed the gap with UCLA, the national leader and single season record holder, at 182. You gotta believe that OU feels ownership of catching UCLA and passing the Bruins, considering it was the Sooners that set that record back in 2021.
Yeah. And it's one of those things to me where, like, you don't want to think about records. You just want to focus on the pitch and play the game, but it's there.
Base knock is there. Garcia, her second single up the middle. Hitterish.
And I think that's the big thing when you think about home run races and things like that. You can't let that be the thing that gets in your head. And that really goes for Kendall Wells as well, that you can't focus on that home run record or hitting number 37. You just got to go in there and take your hacks, take your swings. What happens, happens.
23 straight plate appearances for Kendall Wells without a home run. The longest drought of her freshman season. Patty Gasso says it probably got into her head a little bit recently.
Well, that and she hasn't seen a ton of great pitches, and I think that's twofold. You know, you're seeing less pitches, and to me, that's when that freshman part of this comes in. You start seeing less pitches. At some point, that discipline maybe goes down a little bit because you're really just itching to really drive a hit.
5 games, 25 plate appearances. Last home run, April 25th. Uh-oh, there it is! Number 37, tying Laura Espinoza for the second most in softball history.
Lowell, that wasn't just a home run, that was an exclamation point. This was a pitch up in the zone, way too far over the heart of the plate for Kendall Wells. I mean, talk about the bat speed, the power behind this home run, almost sending it deep out of the park. This was not just a home run, it was a moonshot.
289 feet to straightaway center off the potent bat of the freshman from Bogart, Georgia. Well on her way to becoming known as one of the greatest to ever play the game. And just scratching the surface as a freshman.
Man, that was electric.
Oh my God. That was the most no-doubter in no-doubter history.
Yeah, I mean that was, I'm like speechless. I don't know what to say. Like, that was an incredible hit. It had the sound of it, the height of it, the distance of it.
And hit well to shortstop. Minigbach makes the play for the first out. Megan Grant, take notice. Now 1 ahead of Kendall Wells with 38 home runs on the season. We will see Grant's response tonight, 10 Eastern on ESPN, when UCLA opens up the Los Angeles Regional against Cal Baptist. And rolled over to the right side, Kopech for the second out.
When both of those feats, hitting 38 and 37 home runs respectively, it's a huge deal. But one of the big factors to me that makes Wells so ridiculously different is that she's doing it as a freshman and not a senior. We're talking about a senior that has experience in tough situations and seeing a lot of pitches and all these things. And here's Kendall Wells coming in as a freshman, acting like a senior. I give her a lot of credit for that, the ability to just have ice in her veins.
I'm still not quite sure what I just saw.
I'm not
I
over
thought
it
that
either.
thing was gonna hit the scoreboard. Dayton with the slap. With her wheels, she's on. Infield single.
Almost an exact replica of her previous hit, using that ground well.
Freshman class now with 68 home runs for Oklahoma. They had 66 coming into this, and that would have been 50th best for a team in college softball.
Which, yeah, by the way, it's, you know, more than the entire team for Binghamton. So, I mean, it's fascinating to me, the power that they have.
And it fit in well with the veterans like Lana Advayani, who drove in 2 runs, a single.
I love the leadership she had. She was the one that said, hey, these freshmen make us better. They help us compete more. You have freshmen that are capable of getting the job done like that. It does elevate you. I mean, I think there's like that internal battle too on a team or the competition, whereas an upperclassman, you want to prove that you compete it the same way.
And we're going to have a pinch runner as Tia Malloy enters for OU. So with the 11-0 lead, OU now in position for the run rule. 3 quick outs in the top of the 5th. would wrap this thing up for OU. Look at this crowd. Just what an environment. This is what college sports is about. Great people here in Norman have done an unbelievable job creating this college softball mecca. And if there is any team in the game that deserves a spot like this, it's Oklahoma. They win, the fans show up, they're into it.
And the fans show up in droves. I mean, there is no state that loves their Sooners better than right here at home. Stadium gets loud.
Barrel control to the left side for Agbayani.
Agbayani, to me, she doesn't do a ton that is flashy, but she is so consistent. And she's been one of those mainstays in this lineup as a leader, and just her ability to do her job has really been phenomenal as one of the athletes here on this team.
And a change for OU as another freshman is going to get a shot. Alyssa Parker is going to come in and pinch hit for Sydney Barker. Parker, the freshman from Pecola, Oklahoma. Eastern part of the state on the border near Arkansas. She can also go big fly. 21 hits on the season, 11 are home runs.
It's wild to me. She's got 11 home runs, not in the starting hitting lineup. I mean, that's how deep this lineup and this offense can be. Alyssa Parker, too, a two-way player. Be in the circle as well.
So if OU can hold on, and it certainly seems like they will, and get a win here in this opener and come back tomorrow to face the winner of the second game today between Michigan and Kansas. Losers would face off tomorrow of these opening games and face elimination.
Gotta give some credit to Savannah McHale there in the circle. I think what she's done and really keeping these hitters at bay. I mean, you had that big bomb from Kendall Wells, but prior to that, and she's been able to get the outs.
And this one is a squibber to third base, and the play is made by Carey. But Kendall Wells proves it. She's still got the juice.
Oh man, she's got the juice all right. She sends this one a no-doubter out of the park. No, you up 11-0.
Is later tonight, 10 Eastern. See the matchup on ESPN. We saw Parker hit. Now Parker in the circle for OU to try to close this one out via the run rule.
I can't stress enough. I mean, that record that Espinoza had from 1995, 31 years, and what a treat it is that we have two athletes here looking to break that record that has been standing there for 31 years. Generational players, and they're both playing at the same time. I think it's amazing.
I don't think there's anything that captivates an audience like the home run race.
I'm watching it.
And just a quick reminder, Kendall Wells is a freshman.
Yeah.
Just getting going. Imposing behind the plate as well. Patty Gasso has been blown away by her arm. Teams don't even threaten to run against her.
When you think about like the quote-unquote dreaded sophomore slump of what could happen to her next year, but she's so strong at hitting every part of the zone. It's just hard to imagine that there'd be a slump there.
This has popped up. Tia Malloy now in left field. Secures it for the first out. Kopech stands in. Drew a walk her first time up. And first pitch ball. Oklahoma softball is many things. One thing it certainly is not. UMass Lowell, the team that Binghamton has played in 6 of the last 8 games coming into this regional. So probably a little shell-shocking to see the number 3 national seed instead of your conference rival. Here's the 1-1 and foul.
You can see a lot of ground balls here thrown from Parker. Throwing that drop ball 43, almost 44% of the time. She'll switch vertically and go up with a rise ball occasionally, but she pretty much lives with that off-speed drop ball. Off-speed and drop ball, excuse me. There's the off-speed right there. Another pitcher in this circle that has a chance to get a few regional innings under her belt.
How critical are these innings considering what you may run into in the Super or in Oklahoma City?
Yeah, I mean, your pitchers have to fire on all cylinders to get a W. I mean, this is the nature of this season. To me, to get to the World Series, you have to have a staff and you have to have good offense. And you want your staff to have that experience.
Parker on top, 2 down.
And mostly because if a pitcher gets in trouble, you have to be able to rely on somebody that's not going to let the moment of the game, the size of the game, how big it feels, get to them. And sometimes when you start them in this regional, in a game that feels a little bit comfortable, you can kind of get those jitters away and then allow them to just refocus on what their game is.
Rebecca Minnickbach has a single to her credit to try to extend this game for Binghamton, as OU is 1 out away from winning via the run rule.
Also, I mean, my last thought about both of the pitchers that Patty Gasso chose to put in here after Lowry were both freshmen, Parker and Sakay. It's almost like thinking years ahead. How do you get these to feel like veterans?
Oh, what a play in the circle for Parker to wrap it up. And OU, 17 straight wins in the regional round, taking down Binghamton, 11-0. Their 16th run rule win in a regional opener, tied with Zona for the most in tournament history. And we're going to take a look at the Capital One rewarding performance. I don't want to say about time, but that's probably what the slugger Kendall Wells was thinking before that home run.
Yeah, that drought is finally over. She's hitting the ball again, seeing that ball, and sent that one a mile.
Home run number 37 will sit and wait for Megan Grant's response tonight, as Wells now 1 behind in the home run race. Oklahoma wins 11-0. We'll see Kansas and Michigan coming up at 5 Eastern over on ESPNU. OU, 11-0 win. Jen Ritter, I'm Logan Galendo. Now to Dari. All smiles in the studio.